Hello traders and welcome to Trading Open. This is Ken Calhoun coming at you live on Tuesday, January 24th, 2017. I hope all of you have been having a good day so far and that we've got a good year underway. As always, all information is for educational use only. I'm not making advice about what to buy, sell, or hold by watching this screen, not to make actual trades. We make no profitability or performance claims. We do not do live real money trading. We all do a safe learning environment with paper trading with the demo account so that you can learn the patterns in a much more safe learning environment than taking wild shots and wild swings at things and hope for the best. So let's do this the right way. Hey, one thing I was thinking about last night for you, these epiphanies come to me in the middle of the night almost every single time, either ideas for my stocks and commodities articles or topics for Money Show or partner events or this. Take a look at this. What do I mean? It's kind of, think of it like you're running a small business, and let's say it's a brick and mortar store of some kind, and how much you pay for things is important, but it's a lot more important what you sell things at, right? Let's say you're running a corner grocery store. Your wholesale cost of goods and labor and facilities and rent and all that kind of stuff, that's one set of information. But it doesn't, it doesn't matter if you pay, I have no idea what the price of fruits and vegetables is, but let's say you're paying 50 cents a pound for apples and you're selling them for $1 a pound. What counts is the $1 a pound, and is that a profitable price point to get out at? As a trader, you want to think similarly of your trading as it doesn't really matter if you pay 50 cents a share, 50 cents a pound or 35 cents or 60 or 65 cents a pound, as long as at $1 or better, you're making a good enough profit to be a successful business. Similarly, the error that a lot of traders make is they focus an insane amount of effort on the entry price point, which is useful. That is part of the equation, maybe 30% of what's important, but 70% or 80%, what's much more important is where you sell. And so I want you to start thinking about your day trading, especially, and swing trading from the sell side. Look at and this is for longs. I guess for shorts it would be the opposite, right? But let's keep it simple and focus on longs. I want you to see yourself as a seller of stocks, and that's a strategic, valuable tip, and I'll make some kind of YouTube video about the point at some point in the future. But one thing I want you to think about right now is, especially important in our current market, see yourself as somebody who is seeking to sell at a profit whatever stock you get in at. So, whether you get in at, say, $30.20 or $30.40, it doesn't really matter as long as you can sell somewhere over 40, right, and make some kind of profit out of the trade. So your goal is to optimize your profit, but where traders get into trouble, myself included, is trading, back in the day, was trading too soon and trying to get a huge win. And it's much more important to take a series of sell orders that make you small profits, trade after trade after trade. So of course, the main thing is not to take big stops, but a key part of what you do as a trader really needs to be focused on the sell side of the equation. And I'll cover more on that later. I hope that's a reasonably coherent explanation on the front end, but I want you to think of yourself as somebody that sells this. So maybe our exit target might be, 29.5 or something, 29.70, whatever, somewhere up in the sky there. Our long trigger is 29.10. It doesn't really matter if we buy 28.85 or 28.90 as long as we can sell at a profit. So I want you to see yourself as somebody who's in the business of selling stocks at a profit. That's a strategic tip. And it's important because, once you start to see yourself not as a buyer, but as ultimately a profitable seller as your goal, that's what you're after as a trader. Somebody who can sell or exit your trades and go to cash with some money as a profit for your effort and time in making the trading decision and the work that goes into your trade. So anyway, that's something that I think can help kind of fine-tune or readjust your thinking about yourself. Instead of thinking all about where do I get into the trade, the much more important side of the equation is where do you vacate the trade and go to cash. So collapsing your trade at the first sign of trouble, taking profit early and often, taking really tiny break-even stops wherever you can, is all part and parcel of becoming more successful in your day trading focal point or your focus. So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and top down go through these guys and see where we're at. Has some recent additions here like Momo. Anyway, I like the uptrend yesterday. It's currently at pair 23/8 a long trigger, so that's a nice up continuation chart. It's currently doing a little bit of a minor gap up, so we'll see if it continues on up today. Next up, CF, a good closing range, high volume. Like I said, high volume closes, if you're swing trading, often lead to gaps up like this one. From a day trading perspective, we want to see if it breaks over that 36. If it opens down here, I'll likely tighten in the long to 35.80, which it looks like it will. So for now, let's put that as a bookmark there for you. And for all of you who are new members, welcome aboard. This is a especially valuable part, the most important part of the room, which nobody else in the industry does, is a specific, everyone else who runs rooms, they just have a watch list and they ramble on about, oh, maybe I'll get long because it looks like it's going to. No, professional traders, you have to know where you're going to go long or short and have that information available to you ahead of time. So it's another exclusive benefit here at Trading the Open is my gap alert table with specific price points identified ahead of time. That's vitally important, not just loosey-goosey talk about things that are going up. That's kind of like what the talking heads do on cable news TV, and we all know how valuable that is. But for those of us who really trade, we care about price points. So having your specific prices identified for entry triggers ahead of time is especially valuable. So that's why so many thousands of people have been with me in the live room the last 15, 16, 17 years. So anyway, I like JD. It's got a nice healthy gap up here to just under 28.80. We'll see if it continues on up over the whole number. Alcoa, another gapper. Bullish cup pattern, kind of inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. All we care about is, can I buy somewhere up here, say over 37, and sell to somebody right under 38 and make a quick 50, 60, 80 cents. UGAZ also climbing up nicely with the gap continuation up to just over 30, and we'll see if it's able to keep its upward trajectory over 30.8. We put in a secondary long just over the whole number in case it goes quickly through that on the open. You want a second chance at it, so 31.20 would make sense for UGAZ. Another one I especially like is XIV. It's always a good barometer of the market strength or not is the XIV and VXX pairs. The VXX is down, the XIV is up. I like the fact that it's got a gap continuation, buyers coming in. Our QMI is uptrending, not very much though. It's only got a couple of points. So it's a weak long bias market day today. It's not a strong long because this is in at least 4, 5, 6 points. Next up, I want you to look at Freeport McMoran. FCX is another gapper this morning. We'll see if it continues to climb up to new highs. I like the start of the gap. These swing trading charts you may want to pull up as well. Throat lozenge there. These are all good charts. I'll pull those up in just a second too for you, but let's finish up with our day trader charts. EWZ had a big range yesterday. I like the fact it went from under 37 to up to 37.70, so 1 point range. We'll see if it moves out of this range in today's markets as well. Big story stock yesterday was the gap down in Qualcomm. And it continued down as usual, right? We always do continuation plays and gaps. A big gap down continuation, a mean reversion as anticipated, 1, 2, 3 pattern, a gap down, sold down, bounced to just around half to the whole number. A gap down and sold down to the whole number. It bounced to the whole number. Now it's at the midpoint at, hey, a whole number. You see a theme there. Whole numbers, they rock. That's what we do as traders. Right? You can see 54 support. 56 the midpoint reversal or reversion to the mean resistance, and 55 is the midpoint of that range that it's currently trading in. More likely to go short than anything, so we'll see if it continues on down here to new lows today. For swing trading consideration, Vail is another gapper up. EWZ also worth a swing trading long if it takes out new highs. Rio, another gapper today. It's not moving yet, and it didn't move much yesterday, so I don't have it on the day trading gap list, but it is yet a gapper, so it may be worth a swing trade entry over 45.80 or so. And for those of you who are new to the room, welcome aboard. We like to use roughly 30 cents or so above the high unless I would put it at a 0.9, which this would, so that's why I pull it down a bit. 45.80, the swing trading long trigger for RIO, Rio Tinto. Yahoo's also gapping. I'm not a big fan of the big tier 1 lead stocks like Yahoo or Amazon or Microsoft or Apple because they tend to be heavily scalped by institutional traders and high frequency trading algorithms, so they don't tend to run very far. So the biggest gap stocks are usually, or biggest cap gap stocks are usually not the best plays. It's more these little boutique stocks or smaller caps like Momo or instruments like UGAZ, which is one of our fund charts, the triple gas ETN, right? So UGAZ looks good to the upside. Anyway, that's our focus list, and those are the best charts I can find for you. We'll see what's moving. Yeah, Steve, I pulled up CENX, but it didn't have much range in it. Hey, thanks, Damon, for US Steel. Let's pull that up. CENX, I saw it on the gapper list, but it's only, what, 11 a share and 14 a share. It's starting to move up, but it's kind of compressed range. Maybe worth following up on. Well, we'll pull that one up later. That's Alcoa. Yeah, US Steel's worth adding to the list, too. Another one of our metals stocks. Like I say, metals have been a very strong sector, whether it's US Steel or Alcoa Aluminum or the gold miners, precious metals and commodity metals alike like this have all been good movers. So thanks for the heads up on that one. Yeah, US Steel. So I'm going to keep a manageable list here of the very strongest charts, like Qualcomm with nice wide trading ranges, or gappers like UGAZ that are taking out new highs, or XIV, which is a good way to keep a barometer of the market in addition to our trend readings, our ARMS indices that give us long and short bias in the market. So we are ready. Just a couple of minutes here till the opening bell. Good time to grab some coffee, take a quick stretch, see what else is starting to run into the open. If they're pulling back, that's actually fine because we don't go long yet. Long trigger's up here at 30.8. Sometimes you'll see pre-market selling after a gap. Looks like they're all doing that, right? They're all kind of headed down lately. Yahoo's headed up. This one, Alcoa and XIV are holding their own, as is Rio. Actually, Rio's headed down a little bit. That's a good up chart. So anyway, we've got the best charts. We'll see where they head in today's markets. And see, to have a good successful approach, you need to have kind of cast a wide net and figure out the very best of the charts as they're starting to run. XIV is trying to take out new highs. 58.6, 58.8, the long triggers. We got just about 90 seconds, 98 seconds before the open, 95 seconds now before the opening bell. We'll see where things head. Also, I will be part of the Metastock Traders Summit as a featured speaker this Saturday, kind of late at 5 Eastern time in the afternoon. So if you get a chance, I will be doing a presentation on Metastock this Saturday. I'm one of their featured lineup of speakers. I also did a recent webinar with TradeStation a couple weeks ago, and that video is on YouTube and a lot of views. It's already got a couple hundred views right out of the gate. So, and of course, I'll do things with Ninja and eSignal and the rest this year as well. So, lots to work with. I like this XIV move up here into the open. That's bullish for the market, which is good. It's always good to get a kind of warm and fuzzy or lead indicator on market directional bias headed into the opening bell. Traders, the market opens in less than 30 seconds. We'll see where things move coming up for another session today. Remember my tip. Think of yourself not so much a buyer because, you know, within a dime or so, the exact precise entry doesn't matter nearly as much as your exit. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, 0. Ding, 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 ding. Looks like it's trying to break out to new highs. Well, thanks, Steve, for the heads up on United. And thanks, Damon, too, saying all the airliners were down yesterday. Maybe they'll try and recover today. The heck is that? What did I do? What did I hit? Let's pull up those airline stocks and see if they're tradable. Delta's okay. Thanks, guys. We'll pull. I like Delta's better than United. You may want to take the shot. It's risky, though. These aren't great charts. 49.20, 49.40 for potential bounces. Very high risk, though. You better just go short this guy down at 48.60 on a loss of support with a little safety margin. But yeah, thanks. We'll keep that one kind of as a surrogate for all the airliners and expand our coverage on the alerts if they get interesting as well. But who's taking an early lead? Alcoa. We're off to the races. Anyone take my 37.20? You're in the money. Pa-ching. You know the routine. Sell half now, trail a stop it. You've done this all before. There's a song by Madonna, which is pretty good. Give It to Me. That was it. Good high energy song. Anyway, you've done this all before. You know the routine. We're in from 37.20. If you got that, good for you. Sell half now. If you're a new trader, just sell it all now because we're at the 50-cent mark. So that's 30 cents in the money. And how do you catch these without chasing? Well, that's why you set up your buy stop orders before the market opens. So that way you would have the order fill and be in the money here, and you'd be selling now. See yourself as a seller of equities. The entry side is critically important, but the exit is even more important. So I would be a seller right now of at least half of it into the buying community. Next long would be 37.8. But that's a really good initial open range breakout runner for you guys in Alcoa. Does everyone see why it's a good time to sell? Always use the 50 cent and the whole numbers as likely targets, especially if you're a new trader. You get in the money from 37.20, you sell here at 37.50, you just made 30 cents a share, right? Which is great. If it chops and drops, we don't care. We just bank our money. See yourself as a seller. If you're an experienced trader, sell at least half now and put a stop at 37.40. Just use the nearest 10-cent trailing stop on this guy if it keeps running up. But now would be a good time to stick a fork in it and be done. CF also takes off to new highs. If anyone got a piece of that on its initial breakout, good for you. You know the routine. Sell half now, put a stop at break even on the rest. Next long if it climbs over 36.10. Momo's trying. 23.8, the long trigger. Not quite there yet. It's headed that way. But it's pulling back right now. So not in yet, but 23.8 is the long trigger. It's so valuable to your progress as a trader to develop your entry triggers that work out like these ahead of time. So that way you're not caught by surprise. Hey, you ran without me. That's fine, but after that happens to you a few hundred times, you get frustrated with that. And you say, hey, how do I actually profit from this? And the way is, at least what I found, is set your orders ahead of time. That way you get filled without having to babysit this stuff. Yahoo, let's do 44.20 as a swing trading. Long entry. 44.2 makes sense. It's a bullish cup with a gap, so that's nice. But it's at a likely resistance area since it's A, at a whole number, and B, at the right side of a bullish cup. So it may well scalp down here. That's not worth taking a shot at for a short because it may only go 10 or 20 cents. So the thinking is, hey, we get excited if it's able to climb over 44, but hold our horses. We don't get in for a position for a swing unless it gets over 44.20. In the meantime, there's other charts out there. Gold miners up. Let's see, that's not a good price point for an entry, even though it's a good chart for an entry. That's much better. Let's see how I did that. Newmont and GDX both in the same sector, but I don't buy 0.9s, but I will buy in this case, 36.10, 36.40 long triggers for Newmont. A short trigger, not unless a low day breakdown, say 35.7. Hey, another thing to avoid is reversing your trades. Like let's say you go long and then you trail a stop. Unless you're extremely experienced, and even then do it less. Generally, you just want to go in trend on the momentum and capitalize on the breakouts. Don't try and get exotic by over trading the chop. It's like, well, if I'm long here, do I put a sell stop order at 36? I'd use 36.10. Trail a stop at 36.10 in CF. There's one transaction. That's not enough to get us out, though. See what I mean? You want at least 5, 6, 8 transactions. A single guy getting a 30-share fill does not mean it took out 36.10. Right? You want to see 5 to 8 or some representative sample. Anyway, the point is, if you got in for my long trigger at 35.80 or 30 cents in the money, new traders sell it all now because it's not taking out new highs with any vigor. Experience, okay, there we go. Now sell it all because now we have 5 to 8 trades under the 36.10. Right? So I got you guys in at 35.80. Back here, it ran up 30 cents, 40 cents, starting to pull back. So go ahead and sell it at the 36.10. Keep an eye on that to see if it takes on new highs later. In the meantime, I'm going to focus our energy on our high velocity winning breakout calls like Alcoa. 37.20 is good. 37.8 is the next long trigger. Now, like I said, now's a good time to sell it all. Take the profit, right? We got in at the 20, and everybody sell all Alcoa right now. Sell, 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 because that doesn't look good for longs, right? We got a couple of red candles, kind of a bull flag here. It may keep running on up, and if it does, we can always rebuy if it breaks over 37.80. But personally, I'd be selling right now to lock in a good, healthy, near 50-cent win, right? We're in from the 20, it's up to 67. It's 47 cents, now 45 cents, now 49 cents, whatever. So that was a good breakout. 37.20 in, out up here. Almost 50 cents profit. We don't screw around and wait for it to drop back down to what we got in at. We bank the profit. Remember, as I said, your goal as a professional trader is to look at yourself as a seller of stocks at profits. Like any business owner, you buy at one price, you add value to something, or in our case, we just add to our trading account, and then sell it and lock in a profit. As a business owner, you always seek to add value to the raw materials. Like you get raw steel and you hammer it into something that's worth selling, like a car. Anyway, so the finished good is worth more than the sum of the parts. The whole is worth more than the sum of the parts. As a trader, I get you guys in at 37.20. That's a good breakout trade. And again, you could trail a stop at 37.60. But personally, I'd be fine selling it all into this buying community because we do have a wedge, kind of an ascending triangle, so that's bullish. But we also have a 10-minute round trip here, or 8-minute round trip. So for that reason, and a lack of ability of buyers to come in and rescue it over 37.8, at least right now. So now would be a good time to sell. Always see yourself as a seller. You buy at one price, you sell at another. You don't second guess yourself. When in doubt, get out. When in doubt, take the money. You're a trader, not an investor. U.S. Steel takes out new highs. Sell a little bit into the buyers here, put a stop at break even on the rest. Thanks to the trader for heads up on that one. U.S. Steel continues the madness. 34.8 may be a good secondary launch point for it if it is able to keep going up. And now would be a good time to sell a bit, at least. Sell half now, put a stop at break even on the rest. From the 40, it's up at least a dime for it, so it's starting to work out. Who else is it running? GDX is up, which means Newmont's likely up too, right? And there we go. Newmont's also in the money. New traders sell it all. Experienced traders sell half. We're playing a tighter scalping type game in our current market because the volatility's been up and down. And so I've seen a lot of spikes that have run up like this, and the next thing you know, you blink and it's back down to where it started the day off. So I want us to get in the habit of locking in early profits early and often. So if you're in long from 36.10, congratulations, we're in the money. Sell half now, put a stop at break even on the rest. You can always rebuy if it keeps running over 36.40 later. And thanks for the positive comments. I appreciate that. Yeah, great calls. The thing is, it took a lot of years to figure this out. It's important, it's vitally important in any live room experience to have specific table, not just a watch list. Most live rooms, if you've ever been other places, they just have a watch list and that's it. And then they kind of ramble on about nebulous entries. And that doesn't have much value, in my opinion. I think what really counts, what tells the expertise of a trader and an educator is the win rate of their alerts and the ability to nail it like we did here. Boom, US Steel, steal this baby, boom, nailed it, 34.40 to 70, thanks to Damon for heads up on that one. Newmont also, ka-ching, 36.10, another flawless victory. Trading the open, the right place to learn professional stock and ETF day trading. Anyway, precious metals are up. X, AA, Newmont, we're 3 for 3 wins. We'll see if we continue to get new high breakouts in those as well. Let's see if FCX is starting to join the party. It's trying. My long trigger is 1650. Notice, please, how that kept you out of the false breakout, right? It started to run up a little and promptly rolled over. We dodged a bullet, which is so important. The ones that hit ran. The ones that didn't hit pulled back. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It takes a lot of expertise to get that, but, welcome to my world of 20 years of doing this. Anyway, Freeport McMoran 1650s along. It may keep running later, so if it does, catch it, but for now, we stay clear because it's not yet over that long trigger. And again, for all my new live room members, longs are in green. We wait till it gets above that to enter a long paper trading entry, and same thing on the reds for shorts. If it gets below the red prices, those are the short triggers. Hey, Delta's starting to head up a little bit too. We've got yet another winner. Houston, we have liftoff. We're in the money. Flawless victory. Get over here. You guys have to go watch Mortal Kombat, but not Annihilation, just the first one. Anyway, it's up 20 cents in the money, almost 30 cents. Get over here. For the Mortal Kombat fans. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, we're up over 20 cents, gang. Go ahead and sell half of it. Lock in a nice, epic, juicy, tasty profit. Thanks to the traders who mentioned airline stocks. Any questions? You spot them, I'll nail them, and we got it. That's how you do it, baby. 30 cents almost in the money. Well, 29 cents in the money. It'll be 30 cents momentarily. But now we got 30 cents. Anyway, so we're 30 cents in the money on the Delta long call. I got you guys in at the 20. We're up to 50. New traders, sell it all now. Pigs get slaughtered, so don't be greedy. Sell it all now because we're at the 50-cent water line, right? That's a resistance trigger. Half and whole numbers are good places to sell into. So sell it all now. Stick a fork in it. We're done. I like it when a plan comes together. Let's see where these guys are headed. EWZ, what I got for you guys? 37.6. Not there yet. Tempted to put the 50. That's kind of too soon, though, right? That's only a penny or two away. What the heck? We probably have a couple of minutes. 37.50 and 60 still okay, too. Either one, pick your poison. We'll see if this guy keeps climbing up out of its muck here. 37.50 and 60 long triggers for EWZ. Well, thanks, Steve, for heads up on the golds. No, thanks, Karen. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, got you in. Yeah, thanks to all of you who've renewed, too. Those of you who are first-timers, as well as all of the repeating, renewing folks. It's good to see everybody on board for Breakout Mastery. Yeah, Nuggets kind of ran without us. Well, that's a nice chart. That's a fine mess it's gotten us into. Inconceivable. Dust as you wish. Dust, we'll see. Maybe a pivot play. Risky business. 30-30 on the pivot long in dust. Risky, though. Bouncing off the whole number, right? No surprise. These patterns repeat themselves. Whole number support and resistance. And half numbers for exits too, right? Anyway, it's trying to find support at the 30 whole number, right? Right there. Bullish engulfing in progress. Risky business, 30.30. I've got to watch that movie again. 30.3. If it climbs over that, maybe worth a shot. U.S. Steel continues to power on up to new highs. Use a stop at break even at 34.8, right? That was a second trigger it hit. It's in the money, but it might pull back. So use a break even exit. Alcoa also continues the madness. In the money again. Sell a bit now, put a stop at break even on the rest. We're 2 for 2, and it's all good. See why I like not trading Mondays? Because Mondays are in a choppy, iffy, up and down. Look at the difference between a Monday chart, a Monday up chart, didn't do jack squat hardly. A Tuesday up chart, though, big epic win. Makes a huge difference. You know, like dating women that are honest and are good people versus gold diggers and nightclubs. It's a big difference. I mean, it kind of looks the same on the surface, but once you find out a little bit more, you want somebody who's honest, and I mean, depending on what you're looking for, but I mean, if you're trying to settle down, you want someone who's honest. This is why I'm almost 20 years with the same one now. Anyway, Rockstar breakout in Alcoa. Monday markets, not so good. Tuesday markets, much better. Women in nightclubs, not so good, at least to settle down with. Maybe to have fun with is fine, but been there, done that for 15 years. But after you do all that and you want to settle down, honest, good character people are the type of people to be with. An honest, good character, winning breakout charts like you get here exclusively at Trading Open. Rockstar breakouts are what I specialize in. We got them. We don't trade those crappy $2 stocks. Hey, look, it's running. Oh, it ran 10 cents. Oh, crap, now it's going back. No, just say no. Instead, we like charts that go a little something like this. And thanks to Damon for heads up on U.S. Steel, 34.4, you're in the money. Alcoa Aluminum, double kachingos, big epic win. Newmont we left alone, right? Or I'm sorry, well, 36.10. No, actually, Newmont was good. It's GDX we left alone. And the reason I didn't post a long in GDX, though it was long, was because at the time it was running up, it was right under a whole number. And so we sidestepped that one, and instead we called longs in Newmont. They're both good Rockstar breakouts. The 36.10 was my long call when it was back here. Now's a good time to sell some. Like I said, sell it all if you want, is fine. Next long, if it climbs over this 40, it's about to get there, so you want to keep an eye on that. Dust may do a pivot. Take the player out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the player. Trying to do a pivot there. Maybe in trouble on a bounce. We'll come back to that and see where it heads. Delta in the money from the 49.20 long call here, Trading Open, ran up nearly 30 cents for you guys. Next long is if it climbs over 49.40, which it did, so we use a break-even stop on that, and that would be it. Like I said, I'd be selling it here, so we'll call that one a scratch. The scratch is I endeavor to highlight in gray. So, you know, it did hit and run a little bit, but not enough to pay for that vacation to Hawaii. So anyway, Vail runs up. 11.20 is along for that for a swing. JD's not doing much yet. CF is up and down. The first 35.8 worked out for us. The second one did too if you took it. 36.10 did do a 20 center. Remember, once it runs 20 cents, you should be in the habit of selling half and trailing a stop at break even on the rest. You know, whether or not I'm sitting here walking you through this, because odds are I'll be covering something else. But if it does do that, you know, where let's say it hits a trigger and it runs up 20 cents like it did here, you should be selling half and put a stop at break even on the rest. So I say once it's moved in your favor by 20 cents, that's the minimum that I found is it makes it worthwhile and also avoids, you know, potentially avoids slippage and all the rest of it. So I want to run at least 20 cents before we start going to cash. Yeah, that's worth trading. XME. That's your first criteria is, hey, is there enough volatility and range to make this instrument something that could do well for us in a trade? And even if we miss the first breakout, where would be a secondary? 34.20 short would be kind of what leaps out. That would be the answer key to this if it does drop. If it does keep running, and it might, maybe it runs at 35, right? I'd wait till 34.50, kind of being a little hesitant on that, and 34.70 for sequential momentum runners because it's already at its ATR for the day. It's already ran as far high-low range as it did yesterday. So, and that's about the same as the gap. So this range is the same as the gap, which is the same as the range today. So a little riskier with that one. Our biggest winner today was Alcoa Aluminum, and congratulations to all of our traders here at Trading Open that took that call. 37.20 is now up nearly a full point for you. Big epic win. And 37.80 was my second long call, so if you missed the first long call, that's up 38 cents for you. So trail a hard stop at 38.10 for anybody that's long this thing, because it looks great, and we're in the money just a few pennies shy of $1 from the first winning long at 37.20. But now would be a smart time to considering going back to cash in this guy. I would put a rollover short in, but not quite there yet. Let's do that. Risky 37.90 would be the short call. At this point, I'd be looking at taking profit. Trail a hard stop, everybody, at 38.10. If we get under 38.10, that's just 6 by 8, now 5 cents on the inside. Follow this tape like a hawk, right? That's what you do as a professional day trader. Your life is on your time and sales because that's your money, right? If it gets back under 38.10, I want you to sell, lock in a 90-cent profit from the first entry and a 30-cent profit from the second entry. I think it's likely to drop. So I'd be getting off the bus here, going back to cash, vacating the trade with a huge profit if it got to 38.10. And those are good no BS honest alerts, right? Those good professional calls. If you guys had taken those, you would have done potentially very well. But what's key to your success as a trader, isn't just the winning calls on the long side, but see yourself as a seller, somebody who seeks to be a profiter of the markets. And to profit, you've got to sell with money in your bank account, not waiting for it to get back to what you got in at. That becomes kind of a frustrating exercise in technical analysis. And what we want to do is instead make a profitable approach or potentially profitable approach. Again, I don't make any performance or profitability claims, but your goal is to make profits as a trader by exiting at the first sign of trouble to lock in a profit before the market takes it back. So everybody, we trail a hard stop and go to cash if this guy gets under 38.10 with at least 5 to 7 transactions, 5 to 8 transactions in time and sales. Everybody see that thought process. It's very effective and very correct, right? 37.20 and 37.80 were both good winning breakouts. We now, treat it with a great degree of caution and suspicion that it'll keep going up. So we trail a very tight stop under the inside market to lock in as much of a gain as we can in the trade. Well, I'm not going to sit here and watch paint dry. This has been long enough. If it gets under 38.10, sell it all. We'll come back. And it wouldn't surprise me 20 minutes from now to see this guy back down here. So we trail a hard stop at 38.10, lock in a big win in AA, and we're good to go. Let's see who else is starting to work for us. XME, the long is 34.50, the short's 34.20. Either one is fine. NEM 36.10 and 40 are both in the money. You may want to trail a stop at 36.40. Sell half now to lock in profits on both of those. Trail a hard stop at 36.40 on the rest. So if you're long 1,000 shares, you'd be selling at least 500 right now because of that red at the top. See a couple of red candles. That's not good if you're long, right? So you got the hammer support, a couple lower shadows here. So I'd trail a hard stop at 36.40. Go to cash if it gets back to that. Lock in some profit on Newmont. U.S. Steel, we're out, right? Because it started to drop. I got you guys out at 34.80. That was the break-even exit, which did hit, so we'd be all out of that guy. We'll see if it continues to run down. If it does, let's tighten in the short trigger to 34.30. That's just around 10-20 cents under the inside. Thanks, Steve, for the heads up on Qualcomm. It's starting to edge up. This one's a little tricky, but Let's add 55. Let's tighten that up. 55.80 on the first long. We're making a bullish cup here. So that'll likely attract new high of day breakout buyers, though it's running into resistance right now at the 50-cent line. So we're not going to get in long yet, but 55.80 for the first long, 56.30 for the second in Qualcomm. But thanks, yeah, that's a good spot on that one. We'll see if it continues to get buyers. Sort our quote box, do our work, see who else is running. So many good charts to work with today, right? A grab bag of great winning charts. Yahoo finally taking out new highs. FCX trying to get over that 1650. They want to add what? 1670 later if it keeps running. It may stall here. You may want to use a break-even exit on Freeport if it drops. CF, a mean reversion, day trade up, down, back up again. We scratched it out at the 36.10. Momo's trying to take out new highs. 23.8 hit, but it's pulling back off of that, so that would be in trouble. We'll see where it goes from here. Not a stop yet, but it's not a win either, so or even a break even. It's kind of in trouble, so we'll see where Momo goes. EWZ heads up. 37.50 starting to work out, but again, use a break-even stop on it. Next long is if it gets over 37.60. Now notice too, everybody, we're getting close to the 10 o'clock hour. We're at 9:57 now, so we're just a few minutes before the potential 10 o'clock pivot. And another quick tip that I'd encourage all of you to consider is it's a smart idea to look at the broad market, which is going nowhere today, to see if it had run up or run down in anticipation of a reversal at 10. Since we've gotten neither one, it's just been a very choppy market, right? We did so well with our meta long calls. Think about those poor traders who were foolishly trading E-mini future contracts. I mean, good luck trading the E-minis, right? How could somebody have made money trading that? Impossible. Or to quote one of my favorite movies, The Princess Bride, inconceivable. E-mini day trading, epic fail. Look at it. Look how horrible that would be to trade. Look at what I like to trade. Boom! Big epic difference. You want to trade those charts that actually have a shot at working, not choppy charts, or cheap charts, things that don't have much potential. You want to trade high potential breakouts. Like listening to good music versus awful music, like ballads. I mean, maybe some of you guys like ballads, I don't know. I like old-fashioned rock and roll. Give me classic. Learning Johnny Be Good on the tenor, which is fun. I learned how to play that on guitar, but now I'm playing it on tenor too, so it's kind of fun. Anyway, what else do we got going on? Rio Tinto's way up here for a swing long. If it takes out 45.80, it's not doing that yet, but it is up here, so hey, worth keeping on the radar. It's in our swing trading list down here for all of our traders. VXX going down, so XIV therefore is headed up. XIV, my long call is 58.6. Congrats if anyone took that or the 80. Those are both now in the money. I want you to sell half of it now because we're right near a whole number. And new traders, sell it all now because I got you guys into 58.60 right here. And again up at 58.8 right here. I'd be selling into the buyers because we're right near 10 o'clock. And it's also right near that whole number at the 59. And we have a shooting star right here. That's a classic 1 minute shooting star. So for that reason, that indicated if you're, a candlestick aficionado like I am, be sure to learn from my colleague Steve Nissen at Candle Charts how to trade with candlesticks because they work so well. Anyway, a loss of support of that shooting star would be the exit. If you're not out yet, now would be a good time to sell because we're kind of going sideways. It may keep running up later, but for now, it's a good time to take profit in this on its gap continuation momentum run, right? Always integrate where possible candlestick patterns. If you see a shooting star, get out on a loss of shooting star support, which would be right at 58.90. Or if you're not out yet, like I said, use 58.90 as a trailing stop. All right. And that wraps us up. The only alert that's in trouble from all the ones I posted, that one would be a stop. So we did have a stop here. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Chief. Bum ba dum bum. Missed it by that much. But the others, nice big rockstar breakouts for you like Alcoa, US Steel, Newmont. It's all green, right? So we had a hit, hit, break even, and a tiny stop. So that's epic performance exclusively here for all of my Trading Open live room members. If you're not yet a member, I will be posting this video on YouTube. So I know all of you here today watching this live are members, but for those of you watching this video on YouTube, be sure to go to tradingopen.com. Give it a shot. Learn professional breakout trading. Ask yourself, is whatever live room you're a member of, if you're not yet a Trading Open live room member, able to give you alerts ahead of time, posted in a specific alerts box like my members got here today at 36.10, 36.40, sell up here. That's a big win, right? That ran up from the 10, ran up 53 cents, over 50 cents on the win, right? And we got so many good charts out there, or like the Alcoa breakout. I got you guys in at 37.20. That ran a full point for you. If your live room isn't generating 1 point wins like this, then it's time to run away. To quote the great movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, run away, run away. It's a rabbit. It's a duck. Anyway, I like classic fun movies. Anyway, the point is, unlike the great movie Risky Business starring Tom Cruise from the 1980s, sometimes you got to say, what the heck? Because that gives you some freedom and empowerment. And as a trader, you want to be focused on these kind of charts that actually have potential to run. And the alerts that generally work out really well as a member here at Trading the Open. Anyway, let's continue on in today's session.